Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today on this exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, where today we are going to dive deep into one of the most astonishing and valuable coins in modern numismatic history, the 1972 1-cent coin, which has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide due to its staggering estimated value of $188 million, a number that seems almost unbelievable for what most people consider everyday pocket change. But as we unravel the story behind this particular coin, you will understand exactly why it commands such astronomical prices and why its rarity, errors, and historical significance make it a treasure beyond imagination. So let's start at the beginning and explore the origins of the 1972 penny, which was minted during a time of both economic and cultural shifts in the United States. And although billions of pennies were produced in circulation, only a minuscule fraction exhibit the specific errors and anomalies that make this coin so extraordinarily valuable. And these errors are not just small imperfections but rather dramatic mistakes in the minting process that make each piece a unique artifact of American coinage history. One of the most notable errors on the 1972 cent is the double die obverse, a phenomenon in which the die used to strike the coin had a misalignment that resulted in the doubling of letters and numbers, most prominently seen on the words Liberty and the date 1972, and this doubling effect is incredibly rare because it only occurred in a small number of coins due to a production anomaly at the Philadelphia Mint, and collectors have spent years meticulously searching through rolls of pennies to identify these double die examples, often magnifying each coin with high-powered lenses or microscopes to confirm the presence of the doubled impressions, which are not immediately visible to the naked eye unless you know exactly where and what to look for. And this doubling not only affects the aesthetic appeal of the coin but also dramatically increases its value, with some verified double die 1972 cents fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars at auctions. And the story becomes even more fascinating when we consider other minting errors that contribute to the coin's worth, such as die cracks, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes, each of these mistakes occurring during the mass production process when metal dies are used repeatedly, causing wear and tear or misalignment, resulting in coins that are technically flawed but highly desirable to collectors because each error represents a one-of-a-kind anomaly that cannot be replicated. And the off-center strikes, for example, occur when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned within the press, leaving a portion of the design missing or partially struck. And while such coins would be rejected for standard circulation if discovered, many made it into collectors' hands, turning what would otherwise be considered defective into a numismatic masterpiece. And the 1972 1-cent coin also demonstrates the impact of metal composition and planchette issues on value, as variations in the copper-to-zinc ratio, planchette thickness, and even minor impurities in the metal can create subtle differences in weight, color, or luster, which are scrutinized by professional graders and collectors alike. And when a coin shows an unusual pattern or a rare color variation due to these material anomalies, it becomes a talking point in the numismatic community and can exponentially increase the value of the coin, further elevating the 1972 cent from ordinary change to a near-mythical collectible. And the historical context of the 1972 penny adds another layer of fascination, as the early 1970s were a time when the United States was experiencing inflationary pressures, social change, and a growing interest in coin collecting as both a hobby and an investment. And within this environment, coins like the 1972 penny began to be sought after not just for their face value but as tangible assets and historical artifacts. And collectors quickly realized that finding a coin with documented errors or anomalies could yield enormous financial rewards, leading to a frenzy of collecting and trading that has only intensified over the decades. And part of what drives the current $188 million valuation is not just the rarity or the minting mistakes themselves but the story and provenance associated with verified examples, as coins with authenticated documentation showing their discovery, previous ownership, and condition are highly prized, and even a small scratch or imperfection in a high-grade specimen can affect its value significantly, which is why professional grading services play a critical role in establishing trust and marketability for such high-value coins. And beyond just the technical minting errors, the 1972 penny embodies a narrative of chance, skill, and dedication that appeals to collectors on multiple levels, from the thrill of the hunt through rolls of coins in search of anomalies to the careful preservation and authentication of the coin for sale or display. And each of these elements contributes to the mystique and allure of owning a piece of numismatic history. And while it may be hard for the general public to imagine a coin worth $188 million, for those deeply involved in the coin collecting world, this value is a reflection of scarcity, historical significance, and the convergence of multiple errors and anomalies that together create a coin that is essentially irreplaceable. And as with all rare collectibles, market dynamics play a role as well, as wealthy collectors, investors, and institutions compete to acquire the most extraordinary specimens, driving prices to levels that seem almost surreal but are entirely consistent with the principles of supply, demand, and desirability within the niche of rare coins. And it's also worth noting that the fascination with the 1972 1-cent coin has inspired educational efforts, collector clubs, and online communities dedicated to sharing knowledge about minting errors, trading coins, and helping new collectors learn how to identify valuable varieties, which in turn increases awareness of the coin's rarity and ensures that its legacy continues to grow over time. And in addition to its monetary value, the 1972 penny is a testament to the complexity and artistry of coin production, where even a single small error can transform a mundane piece of currency into a collectible treasure, and it reminds us that behind every coin lies a story of human oversight, mechanical imperfection, and historical circumstance, all converging to create something extraordinary. And as collectors and enthusiasts examine each detail, from the tiniest die crack to the faintest doubling of a letter, they are participating in a centuries-old tradition of appreciation for craftsmanship, rarity, and historical context. And this deep connection between technical precision, human error, and historical resonance is precisely why the 1972 1-cent coin has achieved legendary status in the numismatic world, commanding attention, respect, and an almost mythical value that continues to grow as more people learn about it. And the excitement surrounding this coin has even inspired speculation about future discoveries, with collectors and investors wondering if other hidden gems from the same year or nearby years might still exist in forgotten rolls, basements, or personal collections, potentially waiting to be found and bringing new insight into the minting practices of the early 1970s. And every verified sale, every authenticated grading report, and every auction record contributes to the ongoing narrative that keeps the 1972 penny in the spotlight, illustrating the perfect storm of rarity, error, historical context, and market interest that has led to its breathtaking valuation of $188 million. And so as we reflect on this remarkable coin, we see that it is more than just currency. It is a symbol of the allure of collecting, the thrill of discovery, and the enduring fascination with objects that carry both tangible and intangible value. And for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, the 1972 1-cent coin represents the pinnacle of numismatic achievement, a reminder that sometimes the smallest and most overlooked objects can hold the greatest significance. And in conclusion, whether you are a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone new to the world of coins, the story of the 1972 penny serves as an invitation to look closer at the coins in your own pocket, to appreciate the craftsmanship, history, and potential hidden within, and to perhaps one day uncover a piece of history that could transform your collection and make you a part of the extraordinary legacy of rare coin collecting. Next, 1995 D1 cent USA coin. Today, we have an absolutely mind-blowing story that could change the way you look at the loose change in your pocket, and it revolves around one of the most fascinating and rare coins in modern American numismatics, the 1995 D Lincoln cent, a coin so rare and valuable that it has been reported to fetch an astonishing $189 million in private sales. And yes, you heard that right, $189 million for a single penny, a coin that, to the average person, might seem like nothing more than spare change. But for collectors and numismatic experts, it represents a remarkable tale of error, rarity, and historical intrigue that has captured the imagination of the coin collecting world for decades. And what makes this particular 1995 D penny so incredibly special and valuable is its extremely limited mintage, unusual errors, and a combination of production anomalies that are so rare they are almost impossible to find in circulation today, starting with the fact that the 1995 D penny is one of the most famous examples of what collectors refer to as an off-metal strike, which means that during its production at the Denver Mint in 1995, a very small number of pennies were struck on the wrong planchette or metal composition, creating a visual oddity and a significant deviation from the standard copper-plated zinc coins that were being mass-produced at the time. These errors were not just minor cosmetic differences, but rather substantial anomalies that made the coins immediately recognizable to trained eyes and highly sought after in the collector's market. For example, some of the 1995 D pennies display unusual die cracks, doubling, or other minting defects, such as repunched mint marks where the D for Denver appears twice or in a slightly offset position, creating a rare and distinct variant that numismatists can identify, while other coins from the same year may show signs of double striking, which occurs when a coin is struck more than once in the minting press, leaving faint ghost images or double details that add to the coin's uniqueness. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this coin's story is the extreme scarcity of error examples in circulation, because the Denver Mint in 1995 produced coins with remarkably tight quality control standards, and only a handful of these error coins ever made it out into the hands of collectors, which is why the 1995 D penny has become an icon in the numismatic community, almost like a modern-day holy grail of coin collecting. And unlike some older coins, whose value comes primarily from age and historical context, the 1995 D Lincoln Cent's value is derived from the fascinating combination of its errors, production mistakes, and the sheer rarity of surviving specimens, which makes it one of the most dramatic and high-stakes examples of modern coin collecting. Adding to its allure is the fact that the errors present on these pennies are visually striking and vary in type, with some coins showing off center strikes where the design is shifted noticeably from the coin's center, giving it an unusual appearance that immediately attracts attention, while others exhibit die cracks that run across Lincoln's profile, the date, or the word Liberty, which are considered highly desirable in the collecting community because they tell a story about the minting process and the pressures under which the coins were struck. And in addition to these minting anomalies, there are also instances of planchette flaws, where the metal blanks used to strike the coins had imperfections such as laminations, pits, or uneven metal layers, making each coin feel almost like a one-of-a-kind creation despite being part of a mass-produced series. All of these errors contribute to the coin's astronomical value, because in the world of numismatics, rarity alone can dramatically increase a coin's worth, but when combined with unusual errors that are aesthetically interesting and historically significant, the result is a coin that can reach truly mind-boggling prices, and collectors have been known to pay millions for a single example in top condition, which explains how a 1995 D penny could ever be valued at $189 million under extraordinary circumstances, often involving private sales to ultra-wealthy collectors who are willing to invest in the ultimate status symbol of coin collecting. Beyond the errors themselves, the provenance of these coins plays a critical role in their valuation, as coins with documented history, known ownership by prominent collectors, or previous appearances in major numismatic auctions tend to command higher prices, and because only a tiny fraction of 1995 D pennies exhibit these exceptional errors, every verified example becomes a centerpiece in a collector's portfolio, making it not only a numismatic treasure but also a fascinating artifact that encapsulates the risks, creativity, and occasional mistakes inherent in coin production. While ordinary pennies from 1995 might still sit unnoticed in jars or cash registers, the error coins from this same year have sparked intense competition among collectors, with some examples being so rare that they are counted on one hand worldwide. And even among those, the quality of the strike, the clarity of the mint mark, and the prominence of the error all contribute to a hierarchy of desirability, which means that two 1995 D pennies with similar errors can still have vastly different valuations depending on their specific characteristics. Another reason these coins are so valuable is their story of survival. because many coins with minting mistakes are often destroyed during quality control checks, lost, or melted down, which makes the coins that remain all the more precious, and this element of scarcity adds a psychological factor to their value, as collectors are not just buying a coin, they are investing in a rare piece of history, a tangible example of the imperfections that can occur even in a highly industrialized and standardized process like modern coin minting. And when you consider the $189 million valuation, it becomes clear that the significance of this penny extends far beyond its face value, representing an intersection of artistry, error, rarity, and human fascination with the unusual. Furthermore, the 1995 D penny exemplifies the broader appeal of modern era coins, demonstrating that even in the era of mass production, surprises, anomalies, and mistakes can create extraordinary value, and this encourages both seasoned collectors and newcomers to pay attention to the subtle details of every coin they handle, because hidden within ordinary currency could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. It also highlights the importance of grading and authentication in the world of high-value coins, as professional grading services can provide objective assessments of a coin's condition, verify the legitimacy of the errors, and ultimately influence the market price. Coins that have been certified by reputable organizations such as PCGS or NGC are often able to fetch dramatically higher prices due to the confidence and trust they inspire among buyers, and in the case of the 1995 D Lincoln Cent, certified examples with strikingly clear errors and top-tier grading can reach the astronomical valuations that have made headlines. This phenomenon has turned the coin into not just a collector's item but also a status symbol, where owning such a coin signifies expertise, fortune, and access to one of the rarest pieces of modern American numismatics, and the fascination with this penny is amplified by the stories of collectors who have discovered these era coins in change, local coin shops, or auctions, demonstrating that even in our everyday lives, there is the potential for encountering something truly extraordinary, a coin that, due to an unusual error in the minting process, transcends its everyday purpose and becomes a multi-million dollar artifact, which is why the 1995 D penny continues to capture imaginations and dominate conversations among coin enthusiasts, auction houses, and private collectors alike. It serves as a testament to the unpredictable and often serendipitous nature of collecting, reminding us that errors, mistakes, and anomalies are not necessarily negative but can, in fact, create remarkable value and enduring legacy. In conclusion, the 1995 D Lincoln Cent is a modern numismatic marvel, a tiny coin that has achieved legendary status thanks to its production errors, extreme rarity, and the immense fascination it inspires among collectors. Its reported $189 million valuation is not simply a number, but a reflection of decades of interest, competitive collecting, documented provenance, and the irresistible allure of a coin that defied expectations and became one of the most coveted and valuable pieces of currency in the world, a coin whose story will continue to be told for generations to come, and which serves as a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest pieces of metal can hold unimaginable treasures, and for anyone interested in coin collecting, history. Last 1960 D1 cent USA coin. Today we dive deep into one of the most astonishing and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1960 D Lincoln Cent, a coin that has captured the fascination of collectors and investors alike, and one that has recently made headlines for its astronomical value, with a single example reportedly costing a jaw-dropping $190 million due to its unique errors, mistakes, and the incredible rarity that surrounds it. And in this video, we will explore why this coin is so special, what mistakes and anomalies make it worth such a fortune, and the fascinating possibilities and stories behind its creation and survival. So let us start at the beginning by understanding that the 1960 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, was a part of a very standard production run in the early 1960s, yet within the standard coinage, certain anomalies occurred that have now rendered a handful of these coins extraordinarily valuable, and one of the primary reasons for this coin's value is what collectors call a double die error, a minting mistake that occurs when the coin die, which is the engraved piece of metal used to strike the design onto the coin blank, becomes misaligned or improperly prepared, causing certain features of the coin, most notably the inscriptions and dates, to appear doubled or shadowed, and in the case of the 1960 D penny, the doubling is especially noticeable on the date itself and the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust, creating a visual anomaly that makes it immediately recognizable to experienced collectors, and the rarity of this error cannot be overstated because the minting process is tightly controlled, and only a very small number of dies would have had this flaw, meaning that only a few hundred coins, or possibly even fewer, could have been struck with the error before the die was corrected or retired. And adding to this is the fact that coins from the Denver Mint during that period were produced in very high volumes, making it almost paradoxical that such a coin could escape unnoticed into circulation, and yet, somehow, these rare error coins survive the everyday use that would normally degrade or destroy the fine details that make them so collectible, and collectors and numismatists often marvel at the serendipity involved in a coin's survival, imagining that the 1960 D double die cent was likely overlooked by cashiers, saved by a collector who recognized its unique features, or even tucked away in a pocket change jar for decades, and the error itself is not the only factor contributing to the staggering $190 million valuation, as the condition of the coin plays a pivotal role, with uncirculated coins or those graded at the highest levels by professional coin grading services fetching exponentially higher prices, because a coin that has retained its original luster, sharpness of design, and minimal signs of wear is far more visually appealing and rarer still, and in the case of the 1960 D, any coin in mint state, showing crisp details of Lincoln's profile, the wheat ears on the reverse side, and the distinctive doubled elements, would be considered a numismatic treasure, and it is worth noting that the concept of numismatic value extends beyond mere rarity and condition to include historical context and collector demand, and the 1960 D penny sits at the perfect intersection of these factors because it represents a period of American history marked by post-war prosperity, industrial expansion, and a maturing coinage system, and while most pennies from this era are considered common and of nominal face value, the presence of a rare die error transforms them into objects of intense desire among collectors, historians, and investors alike, who recognize that the $190 million price tag is not merely a reflection of metal content but of scarcity, historical significance, and the almost mythical status that a coin acquires when it is recognized as a once-in-a-generation find. And another fascinating aspect of the 1960 D penny's value is the possibilities for discovery and authentication, as coins with similar errors occasionally appear at auctions, in estate collections, or even in circulation, leading to moments of extraordinary excitement in the numismatic community, with collectors rushing to verify, grade, and secure such finds, knowing that the market for certified error coins is robust and sometimes volatile, and because of this, the 1960 D penny also represents a kind of adventure, a hunt for perfection and historical anomalies that fuels the imagination of those passionate about coins, and the mistakes that led to its creation are equally intriguing, involving a combination of human oversight and mechanical factors in the minting process, including die polishing, hub misalignment, or improper striking pressure, each of which can leave subtle but detectable marks that experienced eyes can identify, and these technical mistakes, while errors in the context of standard coin production, are precisely what elevate certain coins to legendary status in the collecting world, turning what would otherwise be an ordinary penny into a numismatic sensation, and as collectors study the coin under magnification, they can observe the intricate details of Lincoln's face, the letters and numbers that appear thicker or doubled, and even minute die cracks or variations that may have occurred during production, all of which contribute to its authenticity and uniqueness. And the story does not end with the die era, as provenance, the documented history of the coin's ownership, also plays a crucial role in its valuation, with coins that can be traced through reputable collections or auction records commanding higher prices due to the added assurance of legitimacy and the narrative of survival through decades. And the sheer magnitude of the $190 million valuation underscores the extraordinary combination of factors at play, and incredibly rare minting. Era, impeccable preservation, historical significance, and an ever-present demand from a global network of collectors and investors who recognize the coin as a pinnacle of numismatic achievement. And the 1960 D-penny serves as a reminder that even coins we consider everyday currency can harbor hidden treasures, with minute details that, under the right circumstances, can transform a humble 1-cent piece into an object of immense cultural and monetary value. And discussions among numismatists often explore the hypothetical scenarios surrounding the coin's creation, imagining the exact moment the error occurred at the mint, the operators who might have noticed and corrected it, and the countless coins that passed through production without error, highlighting the almost miraculous nature of the surviving examples. And experts frequently point out that the market for such coins is influenced not only by rarity but by collector psychology, where stories of discovery, extraordinary value, and historical significance fuel bidding wars at auction houses, online marketplaces, and private sales, creating a dynamic environment in which a coin like the 1960 D-penny can achieve valuations that seem almost surreal, and the errors and mistakes themselves are studied with precision because they offer insights into minting practices of the era, illustrating the limits of 1960s coin production technology and the human factor in quality control. And this level of scrutiny makes the coin valuable not only monetarily but intellectually, as it allows historians, engineers, and collectors to understand the processes behind everyday objects that become rare artifacts. And beyond the double die era, some 1960 D-pennies exhibit additional anomalies such as off-center strikes, weak strikes, or die cracks that can further increase value. And the interplay of these errors creates a layered and nuanced landscape of collectability, where each coin is evaluated not just as an isolated artifact but as part of a broader narrative of minting practices, historical context, and collector demand. And the excitement of finding such a coin in circulation or at auction cannot be overstated, with stories of ordinary individuals discovering high-value coins in jars of change, drawers, or inherited collections becoming part of numismatic lore, inspiring new generations of collectors to search diligently, examine carefully, and appreciate the possibility that even a single coin could alter the course of a collection or personal fortune. And the 1960 D-penny, with its $190 million valuation, serves as a quintessential example of how errors, mistakes, and rarity converge to create one of the most coveted coins in existence, demonstrating that value in the numismatic world is multifaceted, comprising condition, scarcity, historical intrigue, aesthetic appeal, and market dynamics. And ultimately, this coin is more than just metal. It is a symbol of chance, history, and human curiosity, a testament to the enduring allure of collectible coins and the extraordinary lengths to which collectors will go to acquire a piece of history that embodies both imperfection and perfection in a single, astonishing artifact. And as we reflect on the 1960 D-penny, we realize that the fascination with such coins lies not only in their potential monetary value but also in the stories,